I'm Nicolle Neulist.
And I'm Paul Mazur.
And welcome to Picks and Ponderings review of the Breeders' Cup Classic.
The 15 Breeders' Cup races function in a way.
13.
I'm used to that one time back at San Antonio before when it was 15.
No marathon, no juvenile sprint.
Well, they still run the marathon of the juvenile sprint, just without Breeders' Cup prefixes and with substantially reduced purses.
Well, this year is actually, there's no regular juvenile sprint. It's a juvenile turf sprint down the hill tomorrow.
But we do have the marathon that was won earlier today by Brendan Walship or Scuba.
Yep. Same trainer as Carey Street, who won the marathon 2 years ago, and then visited Hawthorne for the Gold Cup, but was kind of a case before the race and didn't do so well.
Oh, well. Nonetheless, the 13, not 15 races of Breeders' Cup function as racing's final exam. Fitting as we're doing our filming location live from the campus of Northeastern Illinois University in Chicago. And since we're here for racing's final exam, we're studying, we're letting you know who we like in the $6 million Breeders' Cup Classic, the 12th and final on a Saturday program, and the final leg of everyone's multi-race wagers on Breeders' Cup Saturday.
Yep, it drew a field of 10 horses, but most of the talk has been surrounding two. You've got California Chrome, who came back at 5, better and stronger than ever, won the Dubai World Cup, has dominated the California handicap division this year, which looks to be the better handicap division this year.
Totally agree there. Totally agree there. East is least.
And then you've got the upstart Arrogate, who made his stakes debut in the Travers, whomped him, but hasn't raced since. So he's going to be not facing Older for the first time, but facing Stakes Company Older for the first time. And the question is, can he run back to his Travers?
If he can run, that's a big question with Arrogate and this race. If he runs back to his Travers, it's a lot like Bayern 2 years ago. If he doesn't, oh boy.
Yep, and those are the two horses I see as the legitimate win candidates here. Like I said, it's a field of 10, but even in these really classy races, sometimes it doesn't pay to get too cute, and I don't think this is really a spot to get too cute. You've got California Chrome and Arrogate they've had the fastest performances going 1.25 miles. They've proven that they can get that distance. California Chrome has proven either directly or through form lines, through the likes of Opportunity, that he's the best handicap division horse. He's the best dirt horse in the world right now, going 10 furlongs. And Arrogate, he still has to prove he can cut it against Older, but if he can, then he's really the only one with enough upside to possibly beat California Chrome.
But they don't run these races on paper. So we'll briefly go 1 through 10, rail out down through the field, letting you know who we like and like not so much. We start at the rail with FNX. Jimmy Jerkins trains, Fabian Prat rides.
The Jerkins A, if you will.
He's the Jerkins A, and will the real FNX please stand up? Please stand up. Which FNX are we going to get? The one that beat Melatonin in the Oaklawn Handicap before and ran an honorable podium finish in the Big Cap this year with a case of hives, or do we get the one that ran a clunker in the Stephen Foster this year? I think he was just beaten like a drum in the Foster. Or do we get something in the middle, which is a second behind Opportunity that he showed last time out in the Jockey Club Gold Cup going 10.
And he showed up last year in the Breeders' Cup Classic. He chased American Pharaoh around and finished second at 30-1. You're not going to get those kinds of odds this time around. And yeah, I don't like the uncertainty of which FNX is going to show up. And there are others I like better. I I won't laugh at anyone who uses FNX, particularly underneath in those trifectas and superfectas, but I'm lukewarm on him. There are others in the field I like better, and there's really another in the Jimmy Jerkins barn I like better for those 100 slots.
I don't really like FNX at all, just because I don't really like FNX at all. He got exposed last time in the Jockey Club Gold Cup by Opportunity. And I'll get to how I feel about Opportunity later, but Opportunity has no business winning at 10 furlongs. Opportunity won the Jockey Club Gold Cup at 10 furlongs. That's a problem. I think FNX is probably a junior varsity handicap type. If they were running the Hawthorne Gold Cup this year on Thanksgiving weekend, I'd pencil him in and I would bet on him, and maybe he'll pay for my spring tuition. Otherwise, I'll pass on him in this spot.
Yeah, there are others I like better, and I'm not using FNX either. Now we get to number 2. Frosted, a horse who really should be running on Friday in the dirt mile. He can do 8, he can do 9. I don't trust him going 10. He's hit the board once in 4 starts going 10. I get why Godolphin is going for the gusto, because this is something that will help his stud value a lot more than the dirt mile, particularly because he's already won a more prestigious one, the Met Mile. But I don't trust Frosted going 10 against this class of company. No.
Let's ask Kieran McLaughlin about this.
Kieran?
Well, Frosted had a very good performance in the Metropolitan when he won by 14, and he stretched out to 2 turns and the Whitney handicap at 9 furlongs. He had that bad break against Shaman Ghost last time out in the Woodward. He passed the Jockey Club Gold Cup, and he's been training great. Oh, you goosebumps.
Thank you, Mr. McLaughlin. Now back to Paul Mazur.
Thank you, and yes, that's me doing a voiceover of Kieran McLaughlin. I think my voiceover of Kieran McLaughlin is better than Frosted's chances. I don't like him one bit in this race. People say there are too many Breeders' Cup races. No, there's not. You can still have a Breeders' Cup mile in an 8th. Frosted would fit perfectly at this. He should be. I agree with Nicolle. He should be in the dirt mile, but because they have Tama Cruz, they're probably playing divide and conquer. Here, toss.
Yeah, I'm with you. I couldn't toss Frosted fast enough. He's going to be... I think I tossed him the day they announced that he was going to the Classic and not the dirt mile.
He's totally an ill fit for 10.
So, to number 3, Keen Ice. I'll let you go first because I'm just going to fan myself off with my fan dwarfness.
Well, there's truth and propaganda with Keen Ice. The truth is that he is eligible for a twice other than allowance, and the truth is that he spoiled the American Pharoah World Domination 2015 tour by upsetting him in the Travers last year. The propaganda on him is because of the fact that he was the upset horse, that he is nothing more to American Pharoah than what Onion was to Secretariat in the 1973 Whitney. Just a fortunate spoiler who makes that trope of the graveyard of champions come alive at Saratoga.
The spa's over. We don't need their cliches right now.
Right, but the propaganda also, because of New York being the preeminent racing circuit and people talking about it, is that people think that Keen Ice should run at 5 claimers at Hawthorne. That's the propaganda. The truth is that he's a plodder. # plod so hard. How did he look back at his better races? How did he win the Travers? Because Frosted softened up American Pharoah. How did he get second in the Belmont and the Hassel? There were some wicked quick splits then, and there could be some fast splits here in the Breeders' Cup Classic because of Melatonin going to the front, because of California Chrome, and maybe because of Arrogant. I don't think that Keen Ice is a win candidate. However, he is someone that, don't laugh, folks, could appear on the bottom, could hit the bottom of the board, and should appear on your tries and super tickets. He'll certainly be his odds at 20-1 because all the New York money will say no, but you should say yes.
I get that he's got a chance on the underneath. He's coming in off an allowance prep. He got some time off after Dubai and was third in allowance, and it wasn't bad. He still made his run. It turned out to be a pretty fast race, and do I think the classic second off that lay is probably a bridge too far? Yes. Am I more keen on him in something like the Clark later? Yes.
Ding, 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 ding.
Am I more keen on him in the 2017 Breeders' Cup Classic? Yes. But am I going to blame you for using Keen Ice underneath in this race? No.
Take away California Chrome and take away Arrogant, and this race becomes a grab bag. Welcome to the new handicap division of 2017. EU. It's going to be bad. It's not going to be pretty, folks. Keen Ice could win a Grade 1. Maybe it's a race like the Clark.
Another Grade 1.
Could win a Grade 1 against Elders in addition to his Travers.
There you go.
He could win a Grade 1 in addition to his he could win a Grade 1 in addition to his Travers, but that's how bad that's how much of a delta there is between Chrome and Arrogant. I need to get out of statistics fast because that's not a good word. Let's go on to let's
go on to Mr. Chromie.
Yes, Mr. Chrome. The Chromies and yes.
Chromie is my homie.
Chromie is my homie. Chromie is my homie. He's one of two that is a win candidate. I don't think he's a complete slam dunk in this race, but he's a definite building block of your tickets because he's done absolutely nothing wrong this year. Whether it's beating the imperatives and the opportunities in the San Antonio, or shipping to the Middle East, or destroying.
You're shipping all the way to the Middle East to win with opportunity third.
Right. to destroying Dortmund last time in the Awesome again. The 2.25 length margin really doesn't do justice to how he kind of just broke his will.
It was a public work. Dortmund tried, and California Chrome was like, I'm out for a gallop, and I'm gonna win another Grade 1. That California Chrome is the best 10 furlong dirt horse in the world. He's the proven contender. He ran well 2 years ago when he ran in the Breeders' Cup Classic. He rallied for third behind Bayern, and he's a better, stronger horse at 5 than he ever was at 3 or 4. I agree that he's one of 2 win candidates, but I think he's your most likely win candidate. Are you going to get a price on California Chrome? Absolutely not. But
the even money morning line is legit, folks.
Yes, and he is your proven horse. He is your older horse. And he's been so consistent this year. Going back to what you said, Paul, he hasn't done anything wrong. It's not like he's thrown a couple of clunkers in with his wins. He hasn't lost since Dubai last year with Prince Bishop. He just keeps showing up.
And the Chrome and one thing with Team Chrome, not only do they show up big when there's big money. The $6 million Breeders' Cup Classic is the richest race in North America until they run the Pegasus World Cup next year. This is big money, and a big performance will likely result. Chrome is a must-use on your tickets.
And let's move to one of our West Coast also-rans behind Chrome a few times this year. Number 5, Win the Space. And, he's one who he's hit the board a couple times, and then he's hit the board most of his starts this year. He had that one real clunker or two back in the Pacific Classic where he just eased up, just didn't show up. But the rest of he's been coming in for those thirds behind California Chrome and Dortmund. He's been looking pretty good in the mornings this week. He's on his home track, but he's still got some other. When we're talking about the West Coast Handicap Division, we're talking about the better of the West Coast Handicap Division. The East Coasters, the elsewhere horses, they're no California Chrome. I'm not even convinced they're a Beholder or a Dortmund, but Win the Space is a step down from those, and I don't think he's getting another third against this better company.
To use a college analogy, California Chrome is the varsity, Win the Space is the junior varsity. Someone had to be third in the San Diego Handicap 3 back behind Chromie and Doherty. Someone had to be third last out in the Awesome again against California Chrome and Doherty. They don't give they might give third place medals out, but I don't think he could be one of them. He's one of those that could get a third place medal, but he's already got 2 third place medals, and as Nicolle said, he's a step below Chrome. As I said before, he's the junior varsity to Chrome being the varsity.
Yeah, it's been third in a field of 5, where it's California Chrome, Doherty, and some others.
Sorry, no participation.
Other horses like trying Crittenden on the dirt. What are you doing, Godolphin?
Sorry, no participation medals here.
Yeah, that's where I am.
We go on to number 6, Melatonin. David Hoffman trains, Joe Telemo rides. You haven't seen Melatonin since the Santa Anita Gold Cup, or the repatriated Hollywood Gold Cup, where he won 2 back second to FNX. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
He's put together a quality resume this year, but I have serious pace concerns with him here with California Chrome and Arrogate in the field.
I do agree that there are pace concerns in the sense that he's not going to get a free lunch on the front end. He got a free lunch on the front end of Melatonin. But the
Melatonin puts them to sleep.
Stop it, Nicolle, stop it. But while Melatonin did put them to sleep on the front end in the Santa in the big cab 3 back, and he probably will be the speed of the speed. The fact that he passed on races after the Gold Cup at Santa Anita tells me that these are connections that are scared of Chrome. They didn't run at all the Pacific Classic when Chrome had explicitly said, "We're going to run in the San Diego. We're going to run in the Awesome again at Steppin' with Slim Jim." But he's going to be the speed of the speed. One thing to remember with David Hoffman's: beware of David Hoffman's at a price. Think Alphabet Soup 20 years ago in the BC Classic. Think Desert Code in the Turf Sprint. Also over this oval before. He'll be a price considering all the Crow money and all the Arrogant money. And if he floats up to say 25 to 1 on the morning line, I might take a look at him. Otherwise, I don't think his outlook is that sunny.
I would love to see Melatonin win. His Damn Yankee Rain raced on the local circuit for Christine Jenks. His breeders are Illinois-based. It would be a lot of fun to see Melatonin win, but I really don't like him given his forward running style with California Chrome and Arrogate. He's a toss for me.
He'll be the speed of the speed, and if Santa Anita plays like a carousel, and it plays like a carousel with no passing zones at the top of the stretch, you should certainly look at upgrading him. Otherwise, he'll probably be backing up in the lane. Another horse I think could be backing up in the lane is number 7, War Story.
You mean a horse whose only win this year is in a Thistledown allowance is not going to win the Breeders' Cup Classic? What are we even doing here?
Yeah, what are we doing here? The owner, this one is owned by Luch Racing, and yes, they place their horses in ambitious spots, and I know there's that cliche that you got to be in it to win it. But this is very ambitious, and keep in mind, even though the people at Luch say he's 150 to 1 to win, but 7 to 2 to hit the board. Yes, that's an actual quote. Yes, that's an actual quote from him.
I'm not doubting that that's an actual quote. I'm just, I think I have a Luch reflex, and it's something along the lines of this.
Yeah. Nope. This day on this campus, Northeastern, is also the final day of the drop ad period. Drop War Story, add California Chrome, and Arrogant. Let's move on to number 8, Shaman Ghost.
Let's move on to Shaman Ghost. I mentioned earlier.
Is it Shaman or Shaman?
Shaman.
Okay, my mistake on that. So Shaman Ghost. For Shaman Ghost, the B Jimmy Jerkins entrant.
Exactly. I mentioned I liked another in the Jimmy Jerkins barn better than FNX, and this is it. Shaman Ghost has shown this year that he can hold his own, at least against the East Coast Handicap Division, which is a step forward from last year when he was doing his best work against Canadian breds. He's that Canadian bred who's been able to step outside of those restricted ranks, and he won the Brooklyn going 1.5 miles. He won the Woodward going 1.1 miles. He he can get a mile and a quarter. It's right between those. He won the plate last year at a mile and a quarter, with second in the Prince of Wales going a mile and 3/16. So he does have that some form in that distance area. He proved his class this year. So I don't, the one thing I don't exactly love is the fact that Javier Castellano opts to ride Keen Ice and not Shaman Ghost. That said, he gets a perfectly competent rider in Arad Ortiz. He's versatile. He can sit a little closer to the pace, a little further back. He gives Arad Ortiz the flexibility to put him anywhere. Do I think he's a win candidate? No. But do I like his resume this year well enough to think that he can come in for that under spot in the exotics at a nice price? Absolutely.
Should Shaman Ghost win, as I shall now pronounce his name correctly, he would join his sire Ghost Zapper and grandsire Awesome again as a troika of descending Breeders' Cup winners. That Awesome again Ghost Zapper Shaman Ghost Troika would also join Personal Ensign My Flag Storm Flag Flying and Unbridled Song Midshipman as triple generation BC winners. Only the Awesome Again Ghost Zapper Shaman Ghost one would be the BC Classic.
Classic. And
So-
while watching those
breeding-
simulcast feeds, you'll be seeing a lot of ads for Adina Springs.
Absolutely. Seeing as how this is a popular angle, the house horse angle. It's the house horse angle. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it works at a big price. Think Sunny Ridge and the Haskell as a house horse, as a good example of the house horse who clunks up at big odds. Shaman Ghost could be that. He's certainly bred for it. He's got the house horse angle, and he has that win against Frosted. My main concern with him is him skipping the Jockey Club Gold Cup, and the fact that he's coming out of the East Coast Handicap Division that has not looked good at all and has been exposed as bad. I agree with Nicolle that if you want to put Shaman Ghost third and fourth in your tries and supers, go right ahead. He functions as sort of my last out. I had to leave someone off, and it was Shaman Ghost.
Yeah, he's the one who I give the best chance to finish under from that generally questionable East Coast Handicap Division. And now, speaking of proof that the East Coast Handicap Division is questionable, we get to number 9, Opportunity.
Based on Opportunity's pedigree, he's by any given Saturday out of an uncounted 4 mare that the upper bound of his distance is 9 furlongs and 1 millimeter. And he won the Jockey Club Gold Cup at 10 furlongs. 10 is more than 9 and a millimeter. How is this possible? Simple.
It was as weak a field as the time Stonetastic won going 7 when her range is 6 and a millimeter.
Exactly. Opportunity exposed the East Coast Handicap Division. PU. I'll need one. And while Opportunity has done that, it's worth noting that Opportunity has been getting minor rewards against the likes of horses like California Chrome and Melatonin, and there's California Chrome again. He's been chasing around Chrome all throughout the year. He even followed him halfway around the world to Dubai to get the bronze medal, going 10 in the $10 million Dubai World Cup.
You were talking about varsity versus junior varsity. Opportunity is the second stringer on the varsity team.
Yeah. That's probably a good... Yeah. Chrome is your starting quarterback. Opportunity holds the clipboard.
And I like Opportunity as a good shot to get a share underneath. Do I think he beats both California Chrome and Ariate here? No. But do I think he's a must-use in those underneath slots? Absolutely. Use them underneath. If you like betting place, if you like betting show, you're certainly going to get better place and show payouts on Hoppy than you are on California Chrome or Arrogate, and he really is just that consistent underneath type against the best of the handicap division.
Totally agree with that sentiment. He's also the B Bob Baffert, and that's an angle to often beware of. That's an angle that pays well at Santa Anita. Him being the B Baffert, the next horse we'll talk about, Arrogate, means that you'll easily get double digits on the morning line. A ladder wager on Opportunity is a message that I approve.
And speaking of Bob Baffert, let's move to that Baffert A. The number 10, the outside horse, Arrogate. Arrogate is still only making the 6th start of his career and his 2nd in stakes company, but that stakes debut last out in the Travers was sensational. What happened behind him may be a little bit questionable, but he beat that field the way that a horse who's a legitimate prospect for the Breeders' Cup Classic should have beat that field. Like, he laid waste to an inconsistent 3-year-old division in the Travers. Of course, the question is, can he repeat it?
It is the $6 million question.
Quite literally.
Can Arrogate repeat his sparkling performance in the Travers? Yes, the Travers, I'm with Nicolle, serves as a de facto memorial service against the 3-year-old division. It imploded that day, and it's it's part of the reason why I have no faith in the handicap group of 2017. Songbird for Horse of the Year. However, if he runs back to it, he's the next coming of Bayern. The horse who peaked for 2 starts and was trained to 2 exceptional top performances. It's either he peaks, he is at that 2nd race of his peak, or he bounces like a meth-laced ping pong ball.
Or he's Onion.
Right. It's one of those things. I think personally with him at the 10 post, it's going to force him to the front. Yet he said quick fractions going all the way on the lead, pretty much as Nicolle said, laying waste to the field in the Travers. He made me look bad. In the Travers, and maybe I'm a race too late hopping on his bandwagon, but I'm gonna hop on the Arrogate bandwagon.
Well, at 11-1, he made most of us look bad in the Travers.
You're forgetting that 7/10. It was 11.5. It was 11.5 to 1 in the Travers after being, 10 cents on the dot, after being, odds on throughout his SoCal starts at 3.
Well, yeah, after beating up on the likes of Christo and Fusaichi Samurai, who are both not running in the Breeders' Cup Classic, by the way, just so you know.
Yes, we had to get that in, but the $6 million question, as I said before, does Arrogate repeat his Travers, or does he bounce like a meth-laced ping pong ball? I think he repeats it, and I think that makes him a strong contender in this year's Pacific Classic.
You mean this year's Breeders' Cup Classic? Chromie already won the Pacific.
Yes, Chrome already won the Pacific Classic. We mean the Breeders' Cup Classic for $6 million. Hey, maybe it's I'm just prepping for the Pegasus like everybody else.
So as far as, we've gone horse by horse. As far as where we stand, I like number 4, California Chrome on top. I think he's proven. He likes Santa Anita. I trust him to sit just off the pace because Melatonin's going to go. I think Arrogate's going to go. And California Chrome can sit back, get that sweet trip. He's not going to be a long price, but he's got the strongest claim to this, and I see no point in getting cute. Second, I do have Arrogate because he's the only one in this field who, at his best, could possibly contend with Chrome at his best, and I trust Art Sherman and company to have Chrome at his best today. In third, I do have the number 9, Opportunity, because I really only see 2 big win candidates, and Opportunity is your most likely to come in underneath those. He is consistent enough, he's proven at this level to at least keep getting those 2nd place, 3rd place spots, and he's a must-use in intra-race exotics. As my long shot, I do go to the number 8, the Jimmy Jerkins B, Shaman Ghost. I like him at the distance, I like his form, and I think he's the best of the non-California contingent at this point in time. He runs back to his Woodward or his Brooklyn, and he could get a share underneath. Do I think he's a win candidate? No, but do I think anyone but California Chrome and Arrogate are win candidates? Sorry, I'm not getting cute, but no.
I agree. This race, don't get cute, get it right. I like Arrogant and Chrome as well as my two top win candidates, but I'm going to flip the top and I'm going to flip the order around because I like Arrogant over Chrome. Odds are an issue, but also keep in mind this is a weight for age race. Arrogant gets 4 pounds. That is, Arrogant gets 4 pounds when everyone else is an equal weight. That might be an issue, and that might be a factor as well as the fact that maybe Arrogant clears from the outside and just blows Melatonin off his hooves. I agree that Chrome is second and has done nothing wrong, but would a Chrome win over Arrogant surprise me at all? No. If you're really, really cheap with your multi-race wagers and you got Chrome and Arrogant, you can sit back and have a gold one.
Yeah.
I agree with Nicolle that Opportunity seems like the most logical candidate to get third, and that's where I'm going to slot him as well. My long shot is going to be Keen Ice. Stop laughing. Yes, I like Keen Ice to fit. Yes, I like Keen Ice to perhaps hit the board if Chrome, Arrogant, and Melatonin get a little too frisky on the front end. Maybe he's the one that picks up the spoils. He is coming second off the layuff, and it's worth noting. When he ran second at other times he's run second off the layuff. They've been in races like the Clark where he was beating a length. When he went in the Travers and he won a grade 1 in the Belmont, second to American Pharoah on AP Domination Tour 15. Keen Ice goes second off, and while I would keep him in your back pocket for later, I think he can hit the board here. I think Keen Ice can hit the board here, or at least make some noise, mowing him down off of a quick pace in the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Thank you for listening to our preview of the 2016 Breeders' Cup Classic, and good luck betting the Breeders' Cup.
And extend a thank you to the campus of Northeastern Illinois University for our filming location.